In this part, I'm going to go into this non-full screen display. And what I'm going to show you is pretty standard, I hope, and that is saving sessions. So saving this live set. At the moment, as you can see, I cannot save this live set. I cannot save it because it's saved already. And the moment I move something or do something to change this live set, like this, and then go back even, I'm going to have a little asterisk symbol right here next to the name, knowing that this is actually not saved at the moment. So any changes I made right now are not saved. To remedy that, I can just go Save Live Set, and the shortcut is Control S, Command S on a Mac, or Save Live Set As to save it under a different name. And you might ask yourself, why would you save your live set under a different name? Well, every time I used to make a change to the song, or let's say every day I had a session with the same song, I would save that song under a new name. And why would I do that? Well, I always wanted a backup of the version from yesterday, since there might be something better in it. Today I'm going to sit down, work on the song, and maybe I'm actually going to, make it worse. That does happen. Or maybe I'm going to do something to the song which is going to make it unopenable. So I might put in a plugin that's actually corrupted or bad, and then my project is just corrupted and it won't open. So doing that, always saving over the old file that I had might actually, do me worse. So having a backup under a new name, or as I used to do that, would be like, let's say my song's name was Window, and I would name the next version Window 1.1, and then the next version Window 1.2. And every day I would do that, by saving a new name with the new number increment, just to be sure that I have a backup of what I did just before that. So maybe I'm going to do something, make a change in a song that I'm not going to like later, and I want to go back to the old version of the song. Well, this is going to help me to always have a backup of the old version that I maybe liked better. I could save a copy of this set somewhere on my hard drive, but still continue to work in this one. So to make that clearer, if I save this live set as something else, I would save it, and then that one would be opened at the moment. So let me demonstrate that for you. So save this live set as something else. I'm just going to say insdem. So make a shorter name of the same one. And now when I save it, I'm switched into that one, if you can see that. So insdem. So I'm working in that new project I just saved it as. On the other hand, if I save a copy of this somewhere, let's call it ed, and that's it, id. Now you see I saved it again as a copy somewhere, but I'm not switched into that. So I'm still working in this insdem, the last version I saved as. So that's about saving your session. Now, another thing you could do, and it's really, really useful having this in Ableton, is collect all and save. What does that mean? That means that once I do that, Ableton is going to ask me, do I want to save files from elsewhere? So all of the files that are now in the project, like audio files of my crash, uplifters, risers, whatnot, I could save all of those files from various places in my hard drives where I had them, and save them into this new place where I saved my project. Do I want to save files from other projects if I imported anything from another project into this one? And I will show you how that is done, of course, in the lessons to come right after this one. I could save those things too. I could save the things from user library, since user library is something that you build over time, and you might have your own user library full of certain sounds or presets, or drum machines full of samples. You could pull those into and save them. And that, as a precaution, is really good, because imagine your hard drive fails and you reinstall your Ableton and everything in it, but some of the files that you used in your user library are not there anymore because they disappeared. So now you have that saved within the project folder, meaning that if I click all of these, including the factory packs, which you can always reinstall from Ableton's website, but if I click all of those, everything, I mean totally everything in this project will be self-contained within the project folder together with the project file. So if I save it like that, I will never lose anything belonging to this project. And I can see that if I go to the current project folder right here in my browser, I can see all of the project files I've saved, and I can see the samples are in there. Since I did that collect all and save, I have all the imported samples there, all the processed samples like frozen channels or reverse samples, and all the samples from Splice. So I have everything inside of there saved. And if I back up that entire folder, I can show you that, show in Explorer, whatever file I click, and so show in Explorer, it's going to open that for me. So now that entire folder, instrumental demo project, if I just zip this and save it, I have a complete backup of my entire song with everything in it, meaning that I will always be able to open it, especially if I have frozen all of the channels that contain any of my third-party VSTs. Now, you have to think about that too. In, let's say, 5 years, again, many of these VST instruments we're using today might be updated. We might not be able to find an older version, and the new version might not be compatible with the patch that was saved for it, with the settings that were made in that synthesizer. So maybe the new version of the synth won't be able to open those settings because it has upgraded so much that it has even more settings included, so it's not compatible with the old versions of the synth. That way, you're losing your sound. If you freeze that sound, if you freeze that channel, as I've shown you, like that, and now save it, you're making sure that you have the original sound. Now, if at the moment of opening the project, after a couple of years, the synthesizer is still installed, it's all compatible, you can always unfreeze it, make adjustments, and that's really good. But if it's not, and if you don't have it anymore, you're still going to have the original audio. Of course, all processed with all of these settings on top of that file, but you will have it. You will have the original sound. So that's a really neat functionality. And you can always do that and say, save the live set. Whatever you freeze, all of those freeze files are going to remain in your project folder. Whatever you record in your project directly, it's going to record into your project folder. But just to be sure, you can always do collect all and save. So you're making sure you have everything and you don't lose anything from your project. Another thing you can do is go to manage files. So file, manage files. And here, when you manage project, you can see the content of the project folder. So in this project folder, I have 3 live sets. If I go show, it's going to show them to me. So I have 3 live sets I've saved as a demonstration for you guys. I have 34 media files. That's 665.2 megabytes. So I actually do know how much the audio from this project is taking up. I know if I have any missing files, and there are no missing files. I know if I have any external files, and all of the files used by this project are contained within it. You see that? So I have a confirmation of that. I know I have no unused files, so probably something you might have recorded and then just deleted and never used it again. Well, if those files are in there and just taking up space, this would have told you where they are and you could have seen them, delete them, of course. And you could pack this project. So creating a pack of this project is actually Ableton's automated system where he would take this entire project folder and all the audio files and pack that all up into one single pack, reducing its size, of course, making it much easier for yourself to back it up or send it to somebody else to open it. So that's another really good solution Ableton has integrated into their system.